What's up, guys? This is Vinay and welcome to Set Up to Win. The ancient Greek philosopher Archimedes once said, "Give me a place to stand and a lever long enough and I will move the world." Levers give you leverage, and leverage comes in many forms. If you want to get to the top, then it is critical that you understand how leverage works and how it can supercharge your growth. When it comes to finance, one of the main levers wealthy people use to get ahead is debt. And debt is a tool, when understood correctly, that can put you on the fast track to success. Let's go through a quick example of how this all plays out. Let's say two friends, Jake and Casey, each have $100,000 saved up in the bank. They're both interested in investing in real estate, so they both decide to buy houses in the same neighborhood. All the houses in this neighborhood are the same and are priced at $100,000. Jake is a Dave Ramsey fan and believes that debt is bad, so he takes his $100,000 and buys one house. Casey is a little more open-minded and does some research. He learns that the top real estate investors use debt to finance their real estate investments. So Casey decides to use mortgages with his purchase. Because he uses mortgages, he's able to buy 5 houses, putting $20,000 down on each one. So who made the right decision? Let's see. They both start out with the same amount of equity, $100,000 in their real estate investments. Jake owns $100,000 of one house, while Casey owns $20,000 in 5 different houses. Let's say that each house can be rented out at $1,000 a month. Jake doesn't have a mortgage because he paid for his house in cash, but he still has to pay property tax and insurance, which let's just say totals $200 a month. Casey is able to get 30-year fixed rate mortgages at a 3.5% interest rate on his houses. So his monthly principal and interest payment for each house is around $359 a month. Along with the $200 a month in property tax and insurance, his total mortgage payment is $559 per house. That means Jake has a monthly profit of $800 a month. Not bad. And Casey has a monthly profit of $441 per month for each house. So for 5 houses, he's profiting more than $2,200. So you can see how Casey has set a faster pace to build up his wealth at this stage. But how does this play out over the course of time? Let's say that each house appreciates 5% year over year. That means after 5 years, each house is worth more than $127,000. Just based on the appreciation of the homes, Jake now owns more than $127,000 in equity. Again, not bad. But Casey now owns more than $27,000 in gained equity per house, plus his original $100,000. But wait, it's actually better for Casey. Over the course of 5 years, Casey's mortgages have also been paid down a little. His mortgages have been paid down more than $8,200 for each house, for a total of more than $41,000, bringing his total equity to more than $279,000. Now, what about those profits from all those years? For simplicity, let's just assume that both Jake and Casey put their profits into checking accounts that don't pay any interest. At the end of 5 years, Jake has $48,000 in the bank, while Casey has more than $132,000. So between their equity in their homes and the cash saved in the bank, their net worth has increased as follows in 5 years. Jake more than $175,000 and Casey more than $411,000. So it clearly looks like Casey is way ahead of Jake. His net worth has increased by more than double Jake's. Casey has raced ahead of Jake, but how do things play out over 10 years? Again, assuming the houses appreciate 5% year over year, after 10 years, the houses are now worth nearly $163,000. So Jake now has nearly $163,000 in equity. Casey, meanwhile, when you consider the capital appreciation and equity paydown, has nearly $505,000 in equity. And after 10 years of saving their profits in the bank, Jake would have $96,000 in the bank, while Casey would have more than $264,000. So after 10 years, their net worths have increased as follows. Jake, nearly $259,000, and Casey, more than $769,000. Casey is now nearly 3 times ahead of Jake in terms of net worth increase. And what about after 20 years? Again, considering equity paydown, capital appreciation, and savings, after 20 years, the net worths are as follows. Jake, $457,000, and Casey, nearly $1.7 million. Now, Casey is more than 3.5 times ahead of Jake in terms of net worth growth. Let's take a step back and measure their worths in terms of compound annual growth rate, which is the compounded annual growth rate that their initial investment earns. Over the course of 20 years, Jake had a 7.9% CAGR, while Casey had a 15.1% CAGR. And in absolute dollar terms, Casey is worth more than $1.2 million more than Jake. Jake did pretty good, probably better than most everyone else out there, but Casey is the clear winner in my book. And as you saw, as more time passes, Casey separates himself from Jake more and more. This is because of how he has used leverage to supercharge his growth. So it turns out that our friend Archimedes was right. With a big enough lever, you can move the world. I hope this example very clearly illustrates the power of leverage. If you want to build your own empire, then it's critical that you understand how to use leverage to your own advantage. Once you figure out how to gain leverage in your situation, worlds of opportunity just open up to you. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please comment below with any thoughts or questions you have about leverage. And if you did like this video, please like, share, and of course subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.